Hi, this is Devon, and I thank you for watching another one of my videos. Here I sped up flooding the bases of these paintings. I made a diptych, which is two paintings that go together. And I'm using Artist Loft from Michaels black paint, ready to pour, as my base. And I'm spreading it out with a spatula. And it's very important that you cover all of the canvas as well as the sides, all four sides. As you can see, I missed the back of this painting, but fortunately I caught that after the video and fixed it. But that is definitely a mistake. So I'm getting the second canvas prepared for my paint, and I'm doing a Dutch pour, a blowout. And you can see that I do touch up the back of this canvas, but I forget to do the other canvas, which is really distracting for me. So I'm doing a diptych. So I'm putting the paints together, and I used all neon colors. So there's my neon red, and then I go with my orange, yellow, green, blue, and pink. And I layer them on top of each other and in a continuous design. Now, ultimately, this painting didn't turn out because I had different densities in my paints. The Michaels Ready to Pour Pouring Medium Artist Loft is much thinner than my paints. My paints are thicker. I mixed up Liquitex tube paints, and I used Floetrol, 2 parts pouring medium, 1 part paint, and I could have fixed this problem by either making my own base paint or thinning out my neon colors. So ultimately the neon colors sink underneath the base because they're heavier. So here I am torching the paint to make sure that there's no bubbles. And now I'm ready to blow the painting out. And I don't start at the end, I start somewhere in the middle, and I blow out in petals. And you can see that I'm already having a problem with my paints because the tips of those petals are black. The paints are sinking underneath the base paint, so they're not staying. But I continue on, and I don't realize I have a problem until later. I actually really like how this painting turns out, so I'm very bummed that this happened, but it's a learning experience, and I feel like that's what fluid art is, a learning experience, and it's the reason I make these videos, is to help educate and teach, and I'd like you to learn from my mistakes. So like I said, thinning the paints out with water would have fixed this problem, or mixing my own base paint that was the same consistency would have fixed the problem. But I love the way the neon looks against the black. And here's the finished product, wet. And it was very pretty, but as I said, it didn't dry right. You can already see it starting to crater. But that's my painting. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps me out. Thank you so much.